Hello one and all, welcome back to the channel for another review. I am here talking about one of the most anticipated films of the year for me, one of the most celebrated films of the year so far, from director Luca Guadagnino, Bones and All, starring Tara Russell, Timothy Chalamet, and Mark Rylance. This is actually based on the novel of the same name by Camille DeAngelis, and it is actually written by David Kajanic, who was the writer on Luca Guadagnino's last film, Suspiria, so it's a nice reunion of the two people that were involved with Suspiria, film I actually recently watched and adored. But talking a little bit about that later, let's talk about Bones and All. So this is a coming-of-age romance horror film that is set in the 1980s. It follows a young girl named Marin, played by Taylor Russell, who is struggling to figure out who she is and her true purpose. But in her core, she's a cannibal. And this isn't a spoiler. This is in the trailers. It's in the description. This is a journey of two young cannibals, one being Tara Russell, who later runs into Lee, who's played by Timothy Chalamet. And you would think that this is just going to be a very disgusting, despicable, horrific horror film. But in its core, it is a really tender romance that finds a way of being as moving as you could expect from someone like Luca Guadagnino. And this is one of the absolute best films of the year. I really love this film. I saw it at NIF back in October, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. I went into this film with so much hype considering how much I love Call Me By Your Name. Just the idea of Luca Guadagnino and Timothy Chalamet collaborating together again is really exciting to me. And plus the addition of Taylor Russell, who knocked my socks off in waves. This pairing is really amazing and it's executed so beautifully. And also you add on Mark Rylance, who, even though I'm still bitter about him stealing Sylvester Stallone's Oscar, he's a great actor. And my God, he is terrifying in this movie. But what really impressed me the most about Bones and All, like I said, was how it was able to be a horrifically terrifying horror film, but it was also able to be an incredibly moving romance. And also, it's a coming-of-age story, and I'm a sucker for coming-of-age movies, and it was set in the 80s. I mean, my God, like, it's literally such a Bryan movie. And the idea of following these two cannibals in a world where there's not just them, but there's multiple cannibals, I was really fascinated with the approach that Luca Guadagnino tackled. When you have a film that mixes multiple genres, it could be so incredibly jarring. And to some people watching this, it may end up being that way. But for me, I was really impressed with the juxtaposition of focusing on a coming-of-age story, then a horror story, and then a romance movie. But it was also a road trip. It kind of felt akin to what Terrence Malick did with Badlands. It was like Badlands mixed with horror. These two outcasts trying to figure out their purpose, and then they go on this journey of self-discovery. But they also want to escape the fact that they are cannibals. Marin is a girl that really doesn't like the fact that this is who she is, but she learns that she has to accept that. But then you also try to find a way for her to separate herself from that. To go into the performances, they're extraordinary. Taylor Russell is absolutely phenomenal. This is her movie, front and back. She is the star of this film, and I really hope she gets some kind of recognition because she really blew me away here, and it's a really beautiful performance. And of course, Timothy Chalamet is great. He's proven himself to be one of the best actors working today, not just of his generation, but just in general. He is one of the best, and he's an actor that is so versatile with his craft. And Mark Rylance gives one of my favorite supporting actor performances of the entire year. It is a deliciously evil performance that really crawls under your skin, but it's also a great character, and I don't think I could have seen anyone else play that character but him. But it's just very euphoric to see the actors that Luca Guadagnino brought on screen with this film. And it's a terrific ensemble. The screenplay is fantastic. I loved following these characters. I loved getting to know who they are. There's enough development for all of them. Every single character, even the ones that are just in one scene, get their time to shine. Which is great, because when you watch a movie with so many characters, there's some that are pushed to the side, some of them have no purpose to the story, but each character has a purpose to this film. And to talk about the technical aspects, it's shot gorgeously. I felt like I was watching a movie from the 80s. I love the needle drops incorporated throughout the movie. It's kind of similar to what Luca did with Call Me By Your Name, where all the needle drops fit perfectly for that time period and how he was trying to present the story. I loved this movie so much. It's one of my favorites of the year. I really genuinely love this movie. Luca Guadagnino is one of the best voices that we have today. His last 3 films are bangers in my opinion. Call Me by Your Name, Suspiria, and now Bones and All. Bones and All, 4.5 stars. Really fantastic stuff. Truly delicious, tasty, devouring. What a feast. What a feast. A feast that made me sad by the end because I started to cry. I'm not going to lie. This was a brilliant film. I cannot wait for everybody to see it. So guys, if you've seen Bones and All, tell me what you thought of it down below. Tell me what you think of Luca Guadagnino as a filmmaker. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I'll see you guys soon.